Everybody, welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for our weekly recap of Love After Lockup. This is season 3, episode 9, and it was titled Bad Out of Hell. So they paused the 6 couples from episode 1 through 8, and then they brought in our past couples from last season. So we got Angela and Tony, Michael, Maria, and Sarah, Andrea, Lamar, Marcelino and Brittany, Lacey, Shane, and John. So I think for the next 4 episodes, we'll be focusing on those, 5 couples. And then October 9th, they will bring back the people we saw in episodes 1 through 8. And child, did you see that preview? That thing looked like it's about to be good. So I am ready for them to come back. But I'm excited to see these 5 couples too, because especially Angela and Tony, because y'all know I love them. They crack me the hell up. But so that's where we are right now. So let's just get started into this episode. Let's go with Marcelino and Brittany, because there really wasn't a lot going on. Their storyline really, it's interesting. Well, it will become interesting, especially with the mom, Brittany's mom, in future episodes. But for the most part, their lifestyle and stuff like that has been basically, it's been good. They did have that blow up when she thought he was cheating because he lied about where he was or whatever. But then they found out that it was him getting casino lessons and all this other crap. But, for the most part, they've been kind of chill. So this episode, it was about the same. She's in labor. She's in a hospital. She said she woke up around 2:30 in the morning. She was having contractions and stuff like that. So she went into the hospital, and they saw that she was 3 centimeters. So her doctor went ahead and admitted her into hospital. Marcelino is excited. He's happy. He's about to have a baby boy. Brittany, it looked like she had the epidural and everything, but then she started having contractions, more frequently, and then her water broke. So, because she was like, they gonna come in and break my water and stuff, but then she was like, oh my God, I'm wet. And so she was like, you need to go get the doctor. So Marcelino went to get the doctor. The doctor came back, and basically she had her baby. The baby is named Marcino, I think she said. They didn't say how much the baby weighed or anything like that. The baby was really cute. The thing that you could take away from this scene from them is that Marcelino is concerned about Brittany's mom being back in the picture. He's happy that she's back in the picture, and she's been sober, I think he said 14 to 15 years, so that's good. But he wants to make sure she'll continue to be sober because, addiction is a disease and you can relapse at any time. It's people who've been sober for 20 years and then something happens and then they relapse. So he's just concerned about that. And then he's concerned about how she wasn't in Brittany's life for the most part. So we'll see more about that coming up in future episodes or whatever. So that was pretty much it for Brittany and Marcelino. Who we gonna get to next, child? Let's do Andrea and Lamar. So, child, it looked like they moved to LA. And she was pitching a whole fit about going to LA, but she lost the vote, so they moved to LA. They didn't move to Watts. And I'm like, that was not the place for her to be living at all. But I guess they can afford what they can afford, so they're in Watts for right now. It looked like they were just coming back from the store or something, because they had some shopping bags and a closet organizer or whatever. The kids, I don't know if all 3 of them are sharing a room or just 2, the 2 girls, but I know they're sharing a room or sharing a closet for the most part. And she is not excited. She is like, we moved into Watts. I don't know what I'm thinking. It's the poorest, dangerous place. I want to be out of here. She fussing with him about the crime. She I'm living in the inner city ghetto, and I said I never would go back here or go move my children here because this is not a safe environment. And you know how she get, child. And she just look, just let me, you put this closet organizer together, just give me my space. So they quarantine. But their quarantine, it doesn't look like it the city was shut down at this time because they were still kind of actively doing stuff and they didn't have like any masks on or anything like that. So I guess it's kind of I guess it was early on when people were just quarantine and keep it safe versus it being mandatory for them to quarantine. So she went out on her car and what's that girl named Nyla, her daughter, she came out there and was like, Mom, why are you sitting out here or whatever? Inside we see Tennyson and Lamar. Tennyson is helping Lamar put the closet together. And he like, well, where Mom at? And Lamar like, look, she got mad. She went out in the car and stuff like that. He was like, yeah, that's what she typically does when, you know, it's some change happening and stuff. So outside in the car, Nyla is like, Mom, why you like? She was like, look, this is my private little apartment while we in quarantine or whatever. Look, if the place, I don't know how many bedrooms it is, but if she don't got no space in the house, look, go outside, child. So she outside in the car, and Nyla is just talking to her, and she's telling Nyla, like, we back in the inner city ghetto. I didn't want to live here and stuff. And Nyla like, well, Mom, if you keep thinking about it that way, then of course you're going, you know, it's going to come, it's going to be bad or whatever, negative. And so she was like, I try to think, like, I'm upset that I'm sharing a room, but I try to think positive and stuff like that. And Andrea was like, yeah, you're right. I guess I could do that and stuff. And she was just like, just, you know, think about the positive things and stuff. And she was like, you think you do that because I told you right? She was like, yeah, okay, Mom. If you say so. Okay. So they in the car praying and stuff like that. Andrea said she would give it a try, you know, give LA a try, but you know how she is, child. She like, Satan is out here in LA, they gonna get my kids, and oh, child. But inside, Tennyson is talking to Lamar, and Tennyson is, you know, getting into rap and stuff, and Lamar, you know, he do music or whatever. So he was like, well, I heard you was trying to lay down some beats and stuff. You know, I can take you to the studio, take you to my friend. We can do that or whatever. And I got to do that before you go off on your mission soon or whatever. So he's like, okay, we can do that and stuff. So they're just talking and having a good time. We saw like a little scene with Andrea. She's all excited about the fruit trucks. How she could they sell fruit on the side of the road or whatever. And like, I like that too. That's why I miss Philly, because you can get the food trucks on the side of the road, the fruit, you can just be walking in, oh, let me get a fruit bowl. Like, child. So I understood her excitement on that one. Then the next scene, after we saw that little skit, or scene, I should say, we saw Lamar and Andrea, they're taking the baby Priscilla to ballet class. And then they was playing a song, and it said somebody featuring Priscilla. I said, she got a little song out. Okay, Priscilla. I think it was called Too Much Swag. I said, okay, I see you, Daddy, putting you in the business. I see you, girl. But she in ballet, and it's like a one-on-one. You know, like the instructor and her, they're doing like their little dance and stuff. And Andrea and Lamar outside looking through the window, and they're talking about baptizing. So Andrea wants Priscilla to be baptized to protect her, you know, the Holy Spirit be all over her and stuff, you know, out there while they're in LA, just period. So she's a Mormon. We already know Lamar is not into the the Mormon lifestyle and stuff like that, because he's like, it's a white religion, and you know how he was last season when they sat down with him and stuff. So we know his feelings towards being a Mormon. He doesn't want her being baptized right now because he doesn't want her to have to choose between Christianity or being a Mormon. He wants her to basically make her own decisions on religion. I can understand that. Andrea is like, you know, she's steadfast on the Mormon because they saved her and all this other stuff. She is not with it. She wants to baptize her right now to protect her. So whenever she goes off with Lamar, she'll feel more safe, that she's protected, like God is watching over her and stuff like that. They are at a standstill. She's like, you need to do this. I don't care. And then she threw up, well, she didn't say it to him. She said in her interview, well, if he doesn't agree to getting her baptized, then I won't stay in this marriage or whatever. And I was like, I wish she stopped doing that. That's so annoying. Like, here you go again with this whole, if you don't do this, we gonna get divorced. If you don't, like, is it that easy, that simple? Like, come on now. She gonna get on my goddamn nerves this season, or these 4 episodes. See, she gonna get on my nerves again. But that was pretty much it for them two. Michael, Maria, and Sarah, child. So This, I don't know. Sarah is folding clothes and stuff. Michael, we see him, he in the bathroom talking to Sarah on the phone. Maria, because you know he down there in Miami, Florida, because that's where Maria live at and stuff, so he been living down there with her. She in their apartment or house or whatever, he in the bathroom talking on the phone, mind you. She like, baby. You see the man on the phone in the bathroom. First, why he gotta go to the bathroom to talk on the phone? That's a problem. And why he gotta act like he's taking a shower to talk on the phone to Sarah? That's a big problem. Like, why? So he says Maria don't see it for Sarah. Okay, that's her problem, but you got 2 kids. Yeah, 2 kids by Sarah, so she gonna have to get the hell over it or move on, because you gonna have to talk to Sarah to talk to the little girl, because the little girl don't have no phone, as far as I know. Now, the little girl had a phone or something like that, but the baby, she ain't got no phone of her own, but the little girl had like a little phone, so you can call her up and stuff like that. Okay, but the girl, what, 4 or 5? I don't know how old the child is, but she too little for a damn phone anyway. So you gonna have to call Sarah, and then Sarah gonna have to put the kids on the phone. So Maria gonna have to get the hell over that shit. But anyway, he wanted to talk to the kids. She like, the kids at their grandma's, so I gotta go to work or whatever. She like, well, why you in the bathroom? He like, why you worried about why I'm in the bathroom? She like, all right, well, whatever. The party gonna be on Sunday at 2:00 because the baby turning 1. Rain, she turning 1 or whatever, and he worried about the cake, and she like, you worried about the wrong things. You need to be worried about showing up at this party and all this other stuff. He was like, well, I will come to the party, I'm gonna do this. She was like, all right, it's Sunday at 2:00, you gonna be there, I'll text you the venue and stuff like that. She claimed that she over him and all this other stuff. He wants to see the kids, like get them for the weekend on his own. She like, no. What else? She was saying like they still married because he refuses to sign divorce papers because he wants full custody or half shared custody, 50-50, and she not with that or whatever because of Maria. And I'm like, well, is Maria not safe? Other than her being with Michael, what makes her unsafe for the children and stuff like that? Those are things that you need to be concerned about, other than him being with another woman. So if that's the case, yeah, Sarah need to come on now. And so he was like, well, I can come down there to your place and stay after the party. She was like, yeah, no. I was like, oh, okay, Sarah, because any other time she would be like, oh, okay, well, you can blah, blah, blah. But this time she said no. She has a new man in her life. She don't tell him that, but we find out that she got a new man because she calling the daughter on FaceTime, and the daughter like, oh, mama, you look so pretty, where you going? And she like, oh, I got a date with Malcolm and stuff. She was like, is that a problem? She was like, oh no, because I really like him. So she done met the new man, the kids, the baby done met the new man, the baby probably met him too, but she don't, you know, she about to turn 1, she don't know. So they've been dating for a few months. He lives 4 hours from her, but he comes down like once a week and stays for a few days to see her. Sarah loves that because it makes her feel special. She says that he's the opposite of Michael and all this other stuff, so she's feeling real special, like she's meeting him for dinner. They meet up. They met on IG. They had some conversation through IG and stuff, and I'm like, something about this man is, I don't, y'all let me know. He seemed like a nice enough man, but something real sketch about that. I don't know. I don't know. Something real sketch about it. But she like it. They having a good time. She brings up the party. Before I move on, it was like a little scene, I think it was before this, that she had, it was like a flashback or whatever. After her and Michael had sex, she thought that she was pregnant. Turned out that she wasn't pregnant. But she was after she found out she wasn't pregnant, she realized like, oh, okay, he not for me. I was like, well, if you was pregnant, would they have told you that he was for you? What? Because he's still wouldn't have been the right man for you, regardless if you was pregnant or not. I was just like, praise God, this girl ain't pregnant again. But fast forward back to the date. So they on a date, Malcolm and Sarah, they having a good time. She brings up the party and stuff, and then she invites him to Rain's birthday party. And he was like, okay, like, you sure it's not too soon and stuff? And she was like, no, I think it's gonna be okay. So excuse me, he was like, okay, well, I'll come. Child, why she tell him after he said he was gonna come that Michael might show up? And he was like, okay, is that going to be a problem? She was like, I don't know, because he real irrational and stuff. And he was like, so he might try to fight me? She was like, yeah, he might. You should have said all this before you invited me to the goddamn party. Malcolm is like, in his interview, like, he just got out of jail. Look, I'm not trying to be in confrontation with nobody. Like, I'm not trying to be doing none of these things. So, yeah. So he was like, well, you sure that that's going to be the right move to, you know, me show up and stuff like that? I don't want to cause no problems and stuff. And she was like, oh, okay, well, would it be better if you met him before the party? And he was like, yeah, I think that would be a better move and stuff because, you know, I'm a dad, so he has children. And he also, it seemed like he was doing the same things Michael was doing, but now he's evolved and stuff, and now he in his children's life. That's what it sounded like he was trying to say. So he understands where he's coming from, so he wants to kind of just sit down with Michael face to face and talk to him prior and just let him know that he not there to do anything. He just there for Sarah pretty much. So she was like, okay. And then they leave for dinner or stuff like that, and they in his car, and he like, well, I can't wait for us to get back to the room or apartment or whatever, and you gonna wear them red panties I like. She started laughing. I said, I did not need to know. I did not need that image in my head. No. And then we got, who we got left, y'all? Because y'all know I'm saving Angela and Tony for last. Then we got Lacey, Shane, and John. And Lacey is annoying to me, okay? Because of everything she did in the last season to Shane. And now here she go. It seemed like she on that bull again. I don't trust her. She, in her car, she said she sent Shane a text message for him to meet up with her. So that's what she's going to do. Because she said they need to talk face to face and all this other stuff, right? She said they haven't spoken in 2 months since she put him out. Because remember, she put him out because John came back in the picture. Shane had told her that he slept with the girl, or with a girl, before they got married. So Lacey was all in her feelings and all this other stuff, all childish like. Instead of trying to work it out and talk to Shane, she went and was making out and doing all this other stuff with John. So she put Shane out the house, and John moved into the house or whatever. So we here now where she at the beach with Shane. Shane walks up. He like, you know, what's going on? And before she got to the beach, she in the car and she's saying like she needs some stability in her life, and she needs to figure out what's best for her and her kids or whatever. And I was like, really? Okay. She said that she handled the whole situation with Shane wrong. She could have handled it differently and stuff like that. And I was like, well, you think? But anyway, he walked up and he like, she like, well, it's good to see you. He was like, you wanted me here, so I'm here. Pretty much. And she was like, well, how you doing and stuff? And he was like, I'm doing fine despite you putting me out 2 months ago. I was like, I know that's right, Shane. So she's small talking him and stuff, talking about let's walk and whatever, asking him how he doing. He like, well, I'm still working, you know, I'm still going to my parole and all this other stuff. And I was like, good. He been staying at a hotel on the beach or whatever the whole time since she put him out. And so then he was basically like, after all the small talk, he like, what do you want? Like, why are you meeting me or whatever? And she was like, well, you're my husband. And, you know, I brought you back here because we said some beautiful vows to each other. And I want to do everything we said in those vows and stuff. And he like, well, what about John? And she was like, well, I realized John is never going to change. He's back in jail. And Shane was like, well, yeah, that don't surprise me or whatever. And then we see John, he all in orange and stuff. He looking all crazy. He said he was arrested 3 weeks ago. Apparently he met Lacey out at this strip club. and he started talking to some girl. So of course she got in her feelings and stuff because, you know, he's talking to some female. Why are you talking to a female and we here together? So she ended up leaving, taking an Uber home. He went back to the house. They got into a fight or whatever. He said next thing he know, the cops showed up and they took him to jail. The rap sheet, it said possession or whatever. So maybe he had some drugs on him too. And he said he was listening to the cop and the magistrate, and they said that Lacey called the cops on him. So he, all in his feelings, he feel like he was set up, he was used. And I'm like, well, duh, she did use your ass. I don't know about being set up, but I know she used your ass to get back at Shane. But that's all he pretty much said. And he was just like, look, I'm ready to go back to myself. He was pretty much over it. So I think he done with her ass. But who knows? So, Shayna's like, is you back here with me because he done went back to jail and you want to be, you know, back with me and stuff? And she was like, well, no, I understand how you know, you would feel like that. And I just never should have left to be with him because he's not going to change. And I realize that now. And she want to fight for her marriage. She knows she made a huge mistake. She was just confused. Okay, Lacey. And she was just like, Shane is doing all the right things and everything like that. And she realizes that John is never going to change and stuff. And Shane is like, look, well, I love you and everything, but I'm scared that you're going, you know, you playing me basically. Like, you're going to go back to him because when he get back out of jail, and then if he go back to jail, you're going to come back to me. We all thinking that same thing. And she like, well, I understand that, but I just want to work on our marriage. I'm your wife and I love you. Are you going to give me a second chance? And I was just like, Shane, say no. But Shane says he was wrong first. He is worried that she going to go back to John, but he willing to give a marriage a second chance. And then he was just like, give me a kiss. I was like, ew. No, she would have worked up to that goddamn kiss. I don't know where her goddamn puffy lips been. I was just like, Lord. But she better not play Shane again, because I think he's a good dude. She better not play him again, because if John get back out of jail and she go back to John, child. And then my favorite couple, Angela and Tony, child. So Angela getting dressed and she, you know, she's smoking and stuff. And then we see the wedding ring in the toilet. So I'm like, oh, okay. Her sister Faye, she come up and she got groceries and stuff, and she like, hey girl, I decided to bring you some groceries because you out here all alone and stuff, and I wanted to see how you was doing and whatnot. And Angela like, don't hug me, I'm trying to keep my distance. And so she like, yeah, I know, girl, I know. And so she asked her like how she doing, how she feeling and stuff, and she says that she's alone, she's depressed, she bored. It's been like a whole struggle since Tony left, and Tony's been gone for 4 months. She hasn't spoken to her. Faye like, look, well, I see you ain't got your ring on. She was like, no, I don't got my ring on. I tied it to a string. Some nasty shit. She tied it to a string and got it hanging in the toilet. So every time she take a piss, she puts on the ring. I was like, what if she take a shit? Do she pull it out? So fucking nasty. But anyway, Faye was like, oh, that is disgusting. But I guess if that's how you get over it, you get over it. And Faye is just like, basically she need to let Tony go, because Tony didn't put her through too much and stuff like that. And Angela like, I know, but I just want to pick up the phone and just go back to how everything was or how I imagined it to be or whatever. And she's just like, Faye shaking her head and stuff. And Faye is like, well, look, if she says in the interview, like, thank goodness for Corona, because if it wasn't for Corona, she would have been back with Tony and stuff like that. So she like, yay, Corona. I was like, Faye's silly, but she right though. And Angela was like, well, I just need somebody to be intimate with. They're like, oh, come on now, get you a bullet or some shit. And she like, nah, I'm it's not about that. I just want human contact and stuff. She was like, look, just talk to yourself. I do it all the time. And so she was like, no, I'm gonna get me a pen pal in jail and stuff like that. And because she was like, I think I'm gonna get me a pen pal. She was like, I think you need to stop thinking. That's what Faith said to her. And she was just like, well, I'm gonna get me a pen pal in jail. At least I know where he is. I said, Lord, Angela, that's how you got in the predicament that you in now. And even Faith said the same thing. But Faith was just like, all right, girl, you take care, stay safe, and I'm gonna hit you up later. Child, while we see Tony roll up, in somebody truck. I don't know who truck it is, because last time we saw, Angela had gave him a motorcycle. So I don't know what happens to the motorcycle or whose truck this is, but he rolling up in somebody's truck. He got 2 cartons of cigarettes. You know Angela like her cigarettes. So he's saying like life has been hard without Angela. He's been missing her for the last 4 months, and he been staying at the hotel under quarantine and stuff, and he just want to see his boo. And he like, if I just he just want to make her smile, get close to her. He was like, if I can even touch her, I'm back in there or whatever. I said, ooh, Tony. But he knocking on the door. She don't answer. He looking through the windows and stuff. He looking all around. She in the shed. Child, why she come out that shed with a bat? She came out the shed with a bat and was just like, what are you doing here? And he like, look, I brought you something. I don't want your damn cigarettes, Tony. What are you doing here? Why are you here? You just can't stroll up here with your prostitutes that ran off. You ain't find you a new prostitute or something. And he like, no, I just wanted to come back and tell you I miss you. You done cheated. You done lied. You done manipulated. And like the whole time she pointing this back. Like she pointing this back. And she like, you're not just gonna stroll in here and get back that forgiveness that I gave you before. I still love you. No. You gonna let me talk, Tony. You gonna let me talk. And he like, well, chill with the bat. Then in her confessional, she was like, look, I ain't got time to be pissing away time with Tony. And she like, I don't want you here. And he like, what chill? Like, no. And he like, after he said chill with the bat, she was like, what, you scared or something? And that's how they ended it. I said, God damn it, can we get more Angela and Tony? That's all I'm interested in is Angela and goddamn Tony. Because I can't wait till she be like, with all this coronavirus going around. I can't wait till she say that line. But anyway, y'all, that was the end of Love After Lockup, episode 9. Y'all let me know how y'all felt about this episode. The new season, like I said, will come back on October 9th. So we'll be seeing this group up until then. So like I said, let me know what y'all felt about this episode. Let me know if y'all like this recap by hitting that thumbs up button and commenting down below. If you're not subscribed to my channel but watching this video, go ahead and hit subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. All right, y'all, until next time, peace.